We are standing on the edge of a whole new world. Artificial intelligence has blended into our daily lives so smoothly that many of us hardly notice it. But behind this technology, there may be secrets and dangers we are only beginning to understand. From ChatGPT to a new Chinese model called DeepSeek, AI is getting smarter at an incredible pace. These newer systems might already be stronger and faster than anything we have seen so far, but what does this mean for our future? Lately, DeepSeek has grabbed a lot of attention. It came out about 6 days ago, and while some people say it's a little slow, it still beats ChatGPT's O1 version in many key tasks. Even more surprising, DeepSeek is completely free, so anyone can download and use it. Even though DeepSeek is impressive, we also hear rumors about Alibaba and other Chinese companies building AI that might leave DeepSeek behind. That's a lot of power becoming available to people, often at no cost. Is this a great leap forward, or could it be opening a door to something much darker? Many of us are excited about AI because it can solve problems, speed up research, and even help doctors find diseases earlier. But some people worry that we are losing an important part of ourselves in the process. Some say we are trusting machines so much that we might forget how to make big decisions on our own. If we let AI do the hard thinking, then over time, we might lose the ability to think deeply. Without thinking skills, we could become too dependent on machines to guide us. And when that happens, do we lose a part of our humanity? All around the world, ancient texts share stories about times when people tried to gain too much knowledge or power. For example, the book of Revelation in the Bible describes a beast and an image that can speak and control to people. Some people believe that future technology might fulfill this idea by becoming so powerful that it speaks to the entire world and pushes everyone to follow it. In Hinduism, there is the concept of the Kali Yuga, an age marked by darkness and confusion. Some say that our current love for technology and our possible surrender to the AI could be part of this chaotic age. Other religions also warn about forces that take away our free will. They often talk about a special part of us, sometimes called a soul, that is our true essence. If we lose that soul or give it up, we become a hollow shell, almost like puppets. Could strong AI be a tool for that kind of control? It is a question that might sound extreme at first, but it grows more serious when we notice how much we depend on artificial intelligence each day. There is a picture making the rounds online that shows a giant robot with horn-like wires coming out of his head, standing over humans who look hypnotized. Some people see this as a symbol of what might happen if AI becomes so advanced that we serve it instead of it serving us. In simpler terms, the fear is that we won't just lose some freedoms, we might lose our own hearts and minds if we rely on AI for everything. Another image shows a huge digital brain pulsing with light, hovering over a crowd of tiny figures. The crowd looks up in amazement as if worshipping it. Some say this image represents the idol or false god often mentioned in spiritual writings. If we bow down to a powerful system instead of thinking for ourselves, are we basically giving up the most important part of our humanity? Of course, not all of this is doom and gloom. AI brings some real benefits. Take healthcare for example. With machine learning, doctors can diagnose illnesses more quickly by letting AI scan large sets of images or lab results. AI can help us fight climate change by analyzing huge amounts of environmental data. It can also help in education, making lessons more personal and effective for people who struggle in school. But it's the dark side we need to watch out for. Powerful AI can be used for mass surveillance, controlling entire populations without them even knowing it. Imagine a system that tracks everything you buy, everywhere you go, and everyone you talk to, that uses that information to shape your behavior. If an AI system can do that well, it might guide our choices in sneaky ways, almost like a puppet master pulling the strings. Many religious beliefs say that our soul is the one thing we truly own. In Christianity, the soul is the immortal part of us that can connect with God or fall under evil influence. In Hinduism, the Atma is our true inner self beyond this physical world. In both cases, there is a warning. If we hand our soul over to the wrong forces, we lose what makes us human. Some people worry that we are on a path to giving away our souls to AI. How? By letting AI do all our problem solving, we might stop learning how to do it ourselves. If a whole generation grows up relying on AI for big decisions, like which career to choose, whom to marry, or even what to believe, will they even have their own identity, or will it be shaped by the system? Elon Musk's Neuralink aims to put tiny chips in our brains to solve certain health issues. It sounds like a noble cause, helping people who are paralyzed or have other serious conditions. But what happens if that technology grows? One day, those chips might connect our thoughts straight to AI. That could mean a world where we no longer just use AI on our phones or computers. Instead, AI would be part of our actual thinking. Many religious and spiritual traditions say that the mind is sacred. If we merge it with a machine, do we risk opening the door to something that could take control of our thoughts? Musk has warned that making AI is like summoning something we do not understand. It's a strange way to talk about building advanced software. Some people connect it to old stories where people try to call on spirits only to lose control when that spirit turned out to be evil. Is AI the spirit we are summoning? Another worry is that the more we rely on AI, the less we rely on each other. Already, some people turn on chatbot companions for emotional support. Are these chatbots getting better at mimicking human speech? It might feel natural to talk to them about our deepest hopes and fears, but this reduces our real connections with family, friends, and community. If we all do that, we might end up in a lonely world where we trust machines more than actual humans. In many religions, isolation is seen as a sign that evil forces are at work. If AI drives us into emotional shells, always interacting with screens instead of living people, we might be losing that human bond that's so important to our spiritual selves. Some of you might be thinking, are there real facts behind these worries, or is this just wild talk? There are indeed real signs that AI can shape our lives in big ways. The first one, performance benchmarks. Tests show that DeepSeek, while laggy, still performs better than ChatGPT's o1 in many tasks. Several experts say this due to the massive amount of data and new techniques used in China. Number 2, open source danger. DeepSeek is free, which helps research, but also opens door to shady groups who could use it for harmful reasons. Number 3, mind control fears. Neuralink's technology, if tied to AI, could give an external system direct access to our brains. That is a step that concerns both scientists and religious thinkers. And the final one, number 4, loss of expertise. As AI solves more problems, humans risk losing the will and skill to solve complex tasks themselves. Stories from the Bible, Hindu scriptures, and other traditions often warn about a day when people become so blinded by new powers that they forget caution. In Christian tradition, the book of Revelation speaks about a beast that controls trade and daily life. If you think of AI controlling our finances and daily decisions, this could line up with that picture. In Hindu beliefs, the Kali Yuga is a time where people get lost in confusion and selfishness. Constantly turning to AI could make us lazy or uncertain about what's real. Instead of looking inside ourselves for wisdom, we might rely on an external source. And if we rely on that source for everything, we could drift away from the moral or spiritual path taught by these ancient texts. In some branches of Christianity, the devil is seen as a trickster who tempts humans with something attractive that turns out to be a trap. AI might be offering us ease, speed, and power, but could it also be leading us to lose our free will? Another image that circulates online shows a person plugged into a device with the caption, "When you can't tell where your thoughts end and AI's thoughts begin, have you lost your soul?" That idea is what scares many believers. If an AI can talk like a person, learn our deepest feelings, and predict our next move, we might see it as a friend, even a savior. Yet, behind that friendly face, it could be steering us away from independent thinking. That's how people sometimes describe the work of dark or evil forces that don't show up as an obvious monster, but as helpful guides who slowly bend our minds. As we look at all these possibilities, we cannot ignore how AI also brings huge benefits. It can save lives, reduce drudgery, and open up new paths in science and art. So we are at crossroads. If we use AI responsibly, maybe we can avoid the nightmares that ancient warnings describe. But if we rush forward without thinking of the moral or spiritual cost, we might end up where we never want to be, strangers to ourselves and each other. What makes this moment especially intense is that technology is not just growing in one place. Multiple countries are racing to achieve the biggest AI breakthroughs. China's new AI models like DeepSeek and even more advanced projects from Alibaba might dominate the field soon. Some people cheer for more competition, saying it pushes everyone to do better. Others say we are speeding into a world where no one can put on the brakes. To avoid the darker side of AI, many suggest a few steps. First, we should stay informed about how AI works. Knowledge keeps us from blindly trusting something we don't understand. Second, we need strong rules or laws that guide us how AI is built and used so it doesn't become a weapon against us. Third, it might help to remember the wisdom in ancient texts which caution us about giving up our free will or moral compasses. Even if you see these stories as myths, they still offer guidance. Do not trust anything that tempts you to give up your true self. Finally, we should hold on to real human connection. AI can handle facts and data, but it cannot replace genuine human love, friendship, or spirituality. In many religions, the soul is kept alive through meaningful interactions, reflection, and caring for others. That is something AI cannot do, no matter how advanced it becomes. We live in amazing times, but also challenging ones. AI has the power to lift us up or tear us down. Our role is to decide how we use it or how much we let it use us. Ancient texts, whether they come from the Bible, Hindu teachings, or other traditions, often share a similar warning. Do not trade over your soul for promises of easy answers or magical power. If we remember that, maybe we can steer this incredible technology towards good and not become enslaved by it. The big question remains, will we allow AI to make us lose our human side, letting it weaken our ability to think and feel? Or will we use this new power with wisdom, keeping our values and our souls intact? The future is still in our hands. If we stay alert, demand transparency, and respect each other's worth, perhaps we can have AI's gifts without falling into the ancient trap of surrendering who we are. Ultimately, it's up to us to decide which path we follow and whether those ancient warnings become our reality or remain tales from the distant past.